You want me to be in a chair? I'll put him in a chair. Did you hit this one?
I haven't hit anything yet.
So we're live.
Peace, everyone. That part is up higher, so people over there can't see.
Let's see.
And that's showing the closet, which isn't closed.
I guess. Yep. Wow. Okay. Hey. Doing something we're here on YouTube as well, so you can check us out. And just trying different stuff. Happy. Is it happy? Is it okay to say happy?
Yeah, it's fine to say happy.
Good. You know what? I would like to open with a prayer. Can we open with a prayer? Is it okay?
Sure, babe. Can we just fix that screen over there because it's like
what do you want me to do?
We look like midgets.
Oh, because of the height angle?
Yeah,
it's just difficult to do with all the other stuff that's going on. Let's see. All right. Okay, I can do it like that. Just let me get something to prop it up.
Peace, Jack.
Yeah, cool. All right.
So, Zakai wants to open with a prayer.
Yeah, it'll be real brief. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not going to do the Baptist or whatever when you go back to the old church home.
I say I'm not Baptist and I say long prayers.
No, I'm just saying it's just
Okay.
Yeah. So give thanks for this beautiful life that we have. Recognizing all that contributes to who we are and our purpose and place and time. Let all the things that are destined for our highest good.
And those who are watching.
Yes. Let all those things that are destined for our highest good, manifest in blessed ways. We give thanks for healing, for love, light, laughter, and lightness in the transformation. And continue to allow us to be exactly who we are. Ashe. All right.
You feel good?
I feel great. I feel great.
So my husband wants to be all dramatic, right? Because he had not since COVID. I think the last time he had a haircut was in February.
Probably, late February, early March.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he got a haircut last Thursday.
And you guys know the climate out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I consider myself to be, whatever, but it's still like you got to mask up. I ain't been nowhere close with nobody but my wife and my family, in this time, really. So to be up under a barber for 20 minutes or however long it takes, right? And then being in the shop itself, I was very hesitant.
I understand.
Yes. But
he wanted to do a reveal, y'all.
Yeah, here we go. You ready? There's no pyrotechnics involved. There's no forest being threatened.
Woo! And when he came home, I think that he's beautiful, handsome, lovely, gorgeous, just fine. Any other time, Jackie said, please. Any other time, when he came in the house, cause last Thursday when he came in, that's your brother. He came in the house, right, all like nonchalant, bringing in groceries and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I had just come out the restroom downstairs, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's, I mean, definitely the image is important. How you feel, how you look, those things you can play with. You don't have to be caught up in stuff.
So,
yeah. That's a great segue to our topic.
Yes. So welcome to Sweet Wyrd Wednesdays. I am the wife of the illustrious, the genius, the well-equipped, the brilliant, the handsome, the pink sweatshirt wearing, mauve, an amazing father, activist, artivist, transformation agent, healer, cookie monster. He loves cookies, and free. So this is the boo, and it's your turn. That's what you know.
Yes, I'm tuning in. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And Jackie's brother.
Yes. This is
You tuning
the
in?
Queen. Yes.
Oh,
Oshunlade, Ananda Free, who is a multi-hyphenate, as they say, an iconoclast, paving the way for transformative textiles and all the means of different arts. I mean, what don't you do? You know what I'm saying? From being able to fit someone for eyeglasses to
that's my own employment.
textiles
Off the hook.
and author, poet, orator, wonderful, guest and co-host. Now she's doing so many shows now. It's like I got to book time. We got to make sure we calendar this. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I got this date locked down because she is in demand.
Because this is really our date night, actually.
Check her calendar. I'm telling you, Ananda is speaking somewhere near you. You know what I'm saying? As close as a website.
And who are you talking to? Where are you getting this download from?
What is it?
Where are you getting this download from, yo?
I mean, come on. You are of the waters.
All right.
So I have to get that.
You.
Yeah.
All right now. Look at you.
You're just keeping it real.
So anyway.
So we're both blessed, obviously, to have each other.
One another. And so, I love you too. So as Sweet Weirdos, and both the co-collaborators, the visionary and chief operating officer of Sweet Weirdness, we decided to come on here at least once a week and talk about being sweet weirdos who are, and so also let's talk about what do y'all think a sweet weirdo is? When you hear that word, what comes up in your spirit?
Let's get some audience participation.
Yeah. What do y'all feel when you hear sweet weirdness or you hear sweet weirdo? What comes to mind? Even when we say Wyrd Wednesdays, like sweet Wyrd Wednesdays, what
would you consider yourself a sweet weirdo? I'm talking to the people that are out there.
I know, babe.
Yeah.
Anyone?
People are waving.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
It's Christian.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about sweet weirdos. And what does it mean to you? When you hear that, look at that. See? No, Nyla is clearly one.
No, Nyla is his girlfriend.
Nyla,
she's just so disrespectful. I think of uniqueness.
Someone's gonna give us some training tips, I'm sure. You shouldn't have your dog doing that. I'm like, she's definitely driven by her own motivations. You gotta
kind creatives. Can you go see it? So our fan club, aka our children, are calling us. The youngest one, that's not even all of them. The other two they don't even really care as long as we put on you cannot get on this video. Kind creatives, yeah. Cool, thank y'all for the feedback. So sweet weirdness is where goodness, love, and joy is the status quo. So that is the name of one of our companies, Sweet Weirdness. So that's what we are promoting: goodness, joy, and love, right? Because the world gets to have that, because we're born with it, actually. And so unique, innovative, Ashe. And so the sweet weirdo is a person that is unapologetically living from their heart's most fun, loving, radiant, unique expression. Sweet, delightful, pleasing, weird, destined, fate, right? And so we just encourage other individuals to live from that place. And far too often in our society, people are not given the space to be who they came here to be. It's like there's a recipe for how to be, And yeah, somebody might say, well, what about social mores, social rules, etiquette, things like that? Sure, you got to have that. And inside of that and outside of that, people get to be who they are. you know. And I don't know if any of you all have ever dealt with peer pressure or anything like this. And I'm gonna have to go in a second. And come on, Z, because she's just as long as she doesn't get in the on here, it's fine. It might work. Okay, Bubba. Folks haven't been able. The dog has something. I know you lying. Take this. Take that, please. People aren't. Thank you, my love. Now go downstairs with your brother and sister. People are not allowed to be themselves. So, like recently, right? I'll give an example. So, I find myself always, and Zakai will chime in. You ever been around somebody who is kind of maybe perpetually in maybe an interesting kind of mood? You might say they're sorely or curmudgeonly. Some people might say they're realist or pessimist. You know, every once in a while, someone might say even a child is born with a disposition of being a grumpy. You know, I don't think that's the case for everybody, but I mean, every once in a while, somebody does come through like that, and that's who they are. And in this day and time, I find that most times, especially on social media, people want to get behind things or with things that are good, positively potent. But more often than not, folks, come on, boo. More often than not, folks are, because of the climate, people can be pessimists, realists. And so, yes, reality is that, we also believe that reality is what you make it, even inside your circumstances, right? So with the sweet weirdo, one of the things we're going to talk about.
That's not what we believe. That's actual fact. I mean, for those who believe in science, I mean, physics has shown that actually.
Yeah.
That you being in a room with the experiment affects the experiment. So that means that you matter. Your presence alone changes things. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if you're bringing your presence with a clear mind and a good intent, or any intent. I mean, people do things that are, negative, right? Mm-hmm. They just they're focused on what they're doing. So, I mean, your presence plus focus is going to bring great results. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it's so dangerous to take in too much of the programming, because then you get off your focus.
She's behind you.
Yeah, I understand. You get off your focus, mm-hmm. So. And that's when you kind of lose sense of yourself, in instances like that, mm-hmm. Because you're not. How can you be yourself when you're not clear, where you're going, or sometimes you may not know where you're going so much, but a sense of who you are, I think, sometimes is more important than even knowing where you're going.
I just realized that we're not shooting from Sweet Weirdness.
Oh, which one?
We're on your page.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we should switch?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, guys, we're going to go over to Sweet Weirdness page. This was a technical flaw. my bad. All right, see you over there at Sweet Weirdness. Oh, my bad, baby. I actually caught that.
You can delete it.
Delete.
Get down. You want to go downstairs?
Okay. Should I get the little camera thing?
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Is it Wyrd Wednesdays or Sweet Weird?
I called it Wyrd Wednesdays.
Why do you call it Wyrd Wednesdays?
You called it Weirdo Wednesdays at one point.
No, I never called it that. I always called it Sweet Wyrd Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
That's what it says in the thing.
Okay.
I do right. 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 I do right.
Tolu, go downstairs.
Mhm.
He's all, honey. We had a whole really real session off of Freeze Nuts page. My husband. We had
Exactly.
peace. So no ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. We don't put our kids on social media. And this 3-year-old is really giving us a time this evening in a way that is she going? Whew. So yes, thank you for coming back over here with us on here. I'm just waiting for Zakai to get back on. So this sweet Wyrd Wednesday, we are going to be talking about the reinventing oneself and what that is and what that gets to be, how that is, what that looks like for the individual and for the sweet weirdo. And I find that for me, and I'll ask Zakai about him when he gets in, but I find when he comes back, I find for me that my reinventions happen naturally. You know, like things like as my own world expands and changes and does certain things, then the reinvention happens like on its own, if that makes sense. It's like self-propelled. So it's like when someone says they want a new look, they just want a whole new wardrobe, a whole new style. They want to step in and be away, right? Which is cool. I think that's dope. But have you ever met somebody that does a thing and when they do it, they look good, they look good, they feel good, but they're not embodying the thing? And that's okay. Some people say fake it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that that's important. I think a good part of reinvention has to do with who we are becoming from the inside out, not just on the outside. Does that make sense? And we live in a world that really focuses so much. Oh, for real, girl, thank you. I ain't do nothing but throw this hair wrap on and, put on some lipstick. It's amazing what a hair wrap, lipstick, and a little throat comb. How you say? It's a piece of fabric. I just put around my neck. I was like, oh, it's amazing with that. Just a little razzle dazzle, just a little bit, just a little razzle dazzle. You know what? I found something the other day. I was online and I saw. Oh, thank you, boo. I was online the other day and it was some meme. It was some meme and was talking about, oh, it's just a little razzle dazzle. I said, you know what? That's my word for the rest of the year. That's my phrase, honey, for the rest of this year and next year. Razzle dazzle. That's like right up there, y'all. Well, all right now, razzle dazzle. Yes, it's that little bit of, I might have to go in a little bit because this little girl is wilding. I know what she want. She is having a fit. And Zakai's really trying to what is it called? He's really trying to subdue the situation. Like, yo, it's more than a notion. It's more than a notion. Because sometimes everybody wants something all at the same time. And I know what Tolu want. Y'all who know us know what Tolu want. What she want, y'all? What she want? She don't just want to look into my eyes. You know what she want. What she want, Jack? Fawcett said console. What kind of consolation she want? Me, okay. She want titty. I'm like, no, like the girl, and she says it. The other day, she was like, ooh, titty. It's my favorite. I was like, this should be a breastfeeding commercial. You know what I'm saying? She'd be a great ambassador. Yeah, she don't even, sometimes she say titty, sometimes she say ninny. Either way, we all know what she means. And she know what she likes. And the girl weighs over 40 pounds, and most of it is from breast milk. And I'm surprised they still make milk. You know, some women, they dry up, things just, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. I guess I was made to breastfeed on some level. It's part of my destiny, y'all. I have to embrace that. That's part of my destiny, right? Yeah. So anyway, before when we were on the other on Zakai's live, just talking about like in the society and the importance of people not giving into the status quo. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times the status quo is not positive, right? And I think that reinvention comes with a change of oneself. And like I said before, it could totally be outside. It could totally be physical. It can completely be, it really can be surface. You know, and the only thing that really can, you know, for me, I don't know about anybody else, it might just be me. The one thing that can grate on my nerves about when people are when people are talking about like makeovers. Thank you, Spirit. It's a great example. So people go on the shows, right? They go on there, the tired housewife or the, you know, name something. I say tired housewife because I'm a mompreneur. I be home. But they go on the show. They get, you know, a little overhaul, you know, a little makeover, hair done, bump or curl or something like this. Oh, thank you. All right. One of my sisters came on here. It was like, you look gorgeous. And of course, Fawcett, my biological sister, she was like, look at you. And I'm like, okay. It's amazing what a little lipstick and a little cloth around one's neck will do. You know, I had no good sense. I'm just doing all this. I'm waiting for Zakai to get back up here because really, all right, now work. So, makeovers, right? So they have makeovers. People have makeovers. They go on there and everything. And sometimes people have makeovers from losing exorbitant amount of weight. Some people have makeovers after having a baby. Some people have makeovers. Oh, thank you, boo. You know, some people have makeovers after, you know what I'm saying? And certain things, you know, certain milestones or markers just to bring their look up to date, right? The thing that I noticed, and I'm almost certain Rochambeau is going to be like, I don't know, sis. The thing that I noticed sometimes, not all the time, some people were ready for that little pop, that little 1-2, that little extra thing so they could just step into it and just keep on moving. And they got their stride, right? Because their inside had caught up with the outside. Does that make sense? They just needed that little push and they needed support, right? So sometimes people get spiritual support, they get mental health support. Sometimes people need physical support, like with clothes and colors and things like this, you know, to give them that extra boost of confidence, right? And then there are times that I notice that it don't matter what the makeover does. That push, that confidence, it might only be there for 3 or 4 hours, but that inner dialogue hadn't shifted, right? That anxiety is still there beating them in the head, right? They don't have peace. Does that make sense? They don't have a sense of peace, a sense of self. And so when we're reinventing, and I can say, at least for me, I've gone back and seen pictures of myself in my 20s where I was way smaller, much taughter, all the things, right? That somebody in their 40s would go back and look at pictures of their 20s. Because I look at pictures of my 20s, I'd be like, girl, if you knew what you had. I mean, I still got it. Children change things a little bit, but ain't nothing like a little yoga. Get things back, get a little bit more tighter. But my point is, I digress. My point is that when I go back and look at those pictures, when I look in my eyes, I'm not present. I'm so disconnected from the clothes that I have on, even though I look flawless. I'm talking about those who saw me back then, which is rare because most people don't know me from back in my 20s. Like, you're back, my love.
Hey,
you've been missed.
Oh man, no doubt. I missed my seat too. Yeah.
So I started talking about reinvention and how people get makeovers and they get things done.
Right.
And sometimes they just need that little bit of extra to bring their inside caught up with their outside, right?
Yeah.
And then I talked about how for some people they get a makeover, but it doesn't take away the sadness, doesn't take away the anxiety. The anxiety still they don't have peace. Yeah. So they might be like, oh, I feel great for a couple hours, but then everything comes rushing back, right? Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter what's happening on the outside, that inside gets to be tended to. Right. And then I was sharing about how I was in my 20s. I go back and look at pictures of me in my 20s, much smaller, much taughter, and how, but when I look in my eyes, how I'm not present, how I'm not happy, how I'm not, it's amazing what a picture can pick up. And even at that time, you might not see it because you're still in it. Right? Yeah, of course. But when I go back and look at pictures, the rare pictures I had, because those disposable cameras, honey, I had so many of those disposable cameras. I don't even know where the pictures, I never even got most of the stuff even developed. Yeah. That was a great business for the Kodak, Fuji, all that make those little cameras. Exactly. But yeah, so and then this is his topic actually, because last night I had asked him, I was like, so what do you want to talk about tomorrow? He was like, I just want to talk about some world stuff. I want to talk more about, what's going on in current events and stuff. I was like, Zakai, I'm not, well, what would you like to talk about, Nanda? I was like, we're not going to do this. Yeah. We're not going to do this. Yeah. And he was like, what about reinventing yourself? I was like, that's my husband. Because, and that's him too. He want to be controversial. Oh, yeah. He likes to do that. He likes to talk about, we're not making this thing, I'm telling y'all right now. It's all positive energy. I'm sharing with y'all right now. If he comes on here, run rogue, talking about politics and some other. Not I. No. This is all, I think about redefinition. I'm thinking about just the. You just changed the subject. No, we were talking about you. Oh, okay. And your propensity to go towards controversial topics. And I'm more of a comedian. I really am. I just got to get my funny bone kind of hit in the right way, because it comes off as kind of, maybe sharp or different things like that. So people don't really get. A lot of times I'm joking and trying to have fun, but it can seem kind of serious. So, but I'm working on that. And, the Patreon will be available soon. So, but yeah, so we were talking about the
the idea about redefining oneself came to me just thinking about perspective and shifting, perspective and looking at things differently. Because with the things that are happening in the world, it's easy to go into like a doom and gloom and so many things. But it's ourselves, myself, that is going to have the greatest impact. And so, to me, all the things that are happening in the time for introspection that has provided is an opportunity to hey, thank you so much. Yep, reinvention, exactly. It's a great opportunity to figure out what it is that person wants to do or be. And I'm optimistic because the universe is glaring so loudly that anything that you put out there could possibly happen. I mean, the person who's in the office now, he joked about the possibility of him being where he is here in the United States, and it happened. We had what people consider the first Black president. People didn't. So it's just intent and action and commitment, and not being afraid. That's one of the things about being. Someone says I'm thinking about shifting of myself as well. Yes, exactly, because the world that we're in is the world that we make. So, and it's so externalized, Ananda. Like when you look at the media, you think, oh, but that's so far away from you in a certain way. The media that we get to tune into is the one, right? You know what I'm saying? Remember that song by Michael Jackson? Oh, he's such a gifted interpreter. I don't know if he wrote a lot of the songs. Yeah. I don't get controversial. Sorry, I don't know, but he's an incredible interpreter of the music. And that right here, this is where it is. The redefinition. And somebody was commenting that they're thinking about making some changes. And I said, yeah, the world that we have is the world that we create.
Were you trying to be funny?
When?
About that whole let's not be controversial? See, y'all not around him. He gets really hype about the news and the media. I mean, if you just go on his Facebook page, you'll see. And I'm like, but that's not on your platform?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what do you want me to talk about?
I want you to talk about whatever you feel like talking about.
I was doing a redefinition.
I appreciate that. And I want you to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. But within a certain context. I
want us to talk about things. If we do talk about things in the media, how it applies to our lives as sweet weirdos.
Okay.
Not chiming in on popular or public opinion, because a lot of times that takes people down the rabbit hole.
I don't want any rabbits in your hole. I want your holes to be as free as possible, because you got to breathe through them and do other things through them. So. Yes, we're not trying to do that at all. From the sweet weirdo point of view, introspection is essential, because how do you even know that you are a sweet weirdo or feel good enough to claim that? It's not anything. It's just, what do you think? I mean, we talked in some shows in the past about when we first knew that we were different and things of that nature.
I mean, the kids at school told me I was different.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was different until I was told I was different.
Another healing moment brought to you by Ananda. I just had a flashback to being called Book Boy.
Baby, you mentioned that 2 weeks ago.
I know, but I just had a flashback right now. I've got it. It hit me right here. This is one of those chakras right here.
Yeah.
It hit me right there. So I got liberated from that.
Hallelujah.
There you go.
It hit you on your
This show is healing.
It hit you on your shondo.
Shonda. Looked like a horse, but it wasn't a horse.
Y'all, okay, so my husband, Lewis, I know it's about to sneeze. Bishop Lewis Tate Sr. Was there an initial name?
T.
That's what I thought. Bishop Lewis T. Tate Sr. And so, wasn't somebody at the church one time when they said the thing?
Yeah, that was my cousin Bill Tate, who was this legendary preacher, singer, musician. he's also an ancestor Bill, and he would tell that story.
Okay, now tell the story.
Oh, you want me to tell the story?
Please do.
Let me see if I can.
It's one of my favorite ones.
Do it justice. So, some of you all can relate to those. This is it's the time before IG and all that. To those church houses that would get real sweaty on a Sunday. Especially Sunday in the evening, twilight time, when they have that evening service.
Yeah.
Real close quarters. Even no matter how big the sanctuary would be, those wooden floors and those wooden pews, it would just get hot, and people were fanning and stuff.
Oh, that melanin.
And so it was testimony time, and one of the sisters that was there, visiting from another church. Sometimes people go visiting there. Anyway, so she stands up to give her testimony.
And what she say?
And she said, "The Lord came to me in a dream last night and showed me a vision. And there was an animal there. And as I walked around, I touched it. It had a head like a horse, but it wasn't a horse. And it had a neck like a horse, but it wasn't a horse. And it had a back like a horse, but it wasn't a horse. And it had a and the preacher stood up and said, well, it must have been a mule."
Did he ever say this is real, right? This happened?
This is a story he would tell. This story, he probably did see something like that, because he would travel all around the country preaching and playing music, and he was everywhere. So he probably did see that happen. A lot of wild stuff happened.
Remember that time you said your father would say, when the women would come up and give their testimony about Jesus was their boyfriend. This one woman said,
I was there that one time. Lady said that was hilarious. The lady was. Do they still have testimony service? I don't know.
Yeah, of course they do.
Man, that's a great part
That's
of the
usually
church.
first Sunday.
You should never give that up. That's a great part of the church. People get a chance to share, and sometimes they be creating stuff. Whatever it is, it's a wonderful stage. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so this lady, she gets up, she starts testifying about how close her relationship is with the Lord and stuff, and she talking to the Lord every day and walking with the Lord, and she went on, and then she went to the point where she said, "Jesus is my boyfriend." And to my pops, but he got up there, he said, "Sister, don't be telling the people things like that. Now, some people out here single, they want a man in their life, He probably say man in your life, but that's my interpretation of it. But yeah, he said, "So, sister, don't be telling these young sisters nothing like that. Jesus is your boyfriend." That was so funny. It's like, wow. It's a live thing. People don't give preachers enough credit. They downplay preachers and stuff, but to get up every week or sometimes be more than that and do an original piece, you know what I'm saying, that has some meaning to it. I mean, not all preachers do this, but I'm just saying the profession in general is an art in the Black community, and I've been to some churches that were other hues and things like that, but that orator and the whole griot thing, and then they throw comedy in there, it's dope. I've seen some whack preachers too, but we talking about positive things on this show. We're keeping it positive and not controversial. So.
I know one thing. You know what it is about Zakai, speaking of reinvention? Because last week he looked like somebody from the Jungle Brothers. And this week he looked like
to Mike G.
This week he looked like a refined professor.
Aha, there it is.
Right? I had a point.
Did it change? You're saying redefinition? Did it change something about
So he is on the path of healing and salvation in terms of joning.
Oh.
And we've had this conversation several times. And
that's on somebody just now? I don't even know. So natural. Did I say something?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Some people curse and stuff. I don't really do that, but I do. Yeah, go ahead, baby. I do.
You trying to just call my cussing demon out like that?
Oh, I didn't even know. See,
You
when you're in that circle of truth, it just comes when you invoke.
I don't have a problem with the fact that I cuss. I think that's it gives me character. I mean, I like a good cuss word. I do. A nice, just, you know. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? Like, a lot of times people are like, it's not ladylike for women to cuss and whatever. But when people be in the throes of passion.
We're talking about redefinition. Who made those rules?
People make rules. But, okay, when people are in the throes of passion, are they saying, like, please go deeper inside my vaginal walls?
Oh, no. I wouldn't say.
Please sex me till I... What do they say?
I don't know. I don't want passion throwing me nowhere. I mean, I like to. I mean, that's a little rough for my taste. Passion bashing against a wall or something. That's not right now. You might catch a Charlie horse. You know what I'm saying? So,
or a concussion.
Yeah. So, but I know what you're saying though. The ecstatic embraces.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Jackie said they might.
Yeah. I mean, no, but again, like who makes these rules and then who made the words up? I mean, let's not get so caught up in some of this stuff. I think it's more about the intent.
It's about the intent.
What's the energy with what you're doing? You know, one FU is really a curse. The other FU could be a joke, a connection, like right here. Example.
Well, if I tell somebody FU, if I say that, no, let's just be clear, because there's some things that somebody about to get their ass whooped.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. But I have now seen and been in a place where people greet each other like that, and it's in a joking way. Like,
they say "F you."
Yeah, like "F you," man, you ain't nothing. You know, yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. You ain't SIT. You know, for some reason now, I mean, I feel like I'm on Sesame Street, so I don't want to say the word or something. But anyway. Yeah, I've seen that. Like now, I hadn't experienced that before, but now I have. So I'm like, wow, okay, that's different. And it seems like the people are really part of a community. They love each other. It's just it's like a hardness that needs to be expressed through the language or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you, nigga. I mean, you've seen that. Well, I have. I've been in the hood. You been in the hood, babe? You know you from Alexandria and stuff. But
I know you lying. I know you lying.
That wasn't a Joan, babe.
That was you joning, and then you want to bring up where I was born because you want to try to take away. Don't look at me like that. You try to take away my.
Now I'm thinking about it. I've seen that more than just now with the whole people.
People do it back home.
Yeah, so it's not nothing strange. I mean, this is a sign of endearment.
For some people.
Yeah.
For some people. Look, you got Sir Waller come on here laughing already. It don't make no sense.
That's we here to have fun, you know what I'm saying?
And then Michael talking about we gotta rebuke this cussing demon.
Yes. Lay hands on your phone right now, and you know what I'm saying? Yes, please. Hey, whatever it is, what is blessed, and what is cussed.
You stop joning, I'll stop cussing.
It's all good. Yeah.
That means that's what you're gonna do?
I mean, I had to reserve some
I'm saying
ability,
I'm just saying
endeavors, you know what I'm saying? You never know when you want to take it to the stage, you know what I'm saying? So I got to keep my, my sword sharp. I will definitely, I'll cut back. How about that?
No, Zakai. That's one of the reasons why.
Moderation. Moderation.
I actually like the fact that he Jones on some things at some times because he's actually kind of funny.
Oh, I see.
But
it's all about the editorial. I understand. I'm with it. And you could definitely be my producer anytime, babe. You just, give me, hey, this is what direction we're going. I'm right there.
Don't do that. So the reinvention of oneself, I think for me, my reinvention, so like being a woman, an African woman in the diaspora, a mother, an artist, being queer, all those things I think lend to my presentation in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to think so much about it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, but I notice, like, for me, my stuff changes authentically based on how I feel, based on, you know, the season, based on how I'm feeling. You know what I mean?
But you know, being at a point now where you don't think about it is really a point of growth for most people. Like you think about back when you was an adolescent, how many times you thought about like what you had on or whatever was going on. It was like a constant thing. I mean, for me, like my experience, even coming up, like that was such a thing. So it really is a point of maturity to say, you know, some of these things I'm not even worried about. I'm not out here trying to, you know, yeah, go ahead.
You know what it is, though? I don't rock with stuff that's in the store.
Mm-hmm.
When I see things online, it's rare. I think the part for me, and I'm not trying to sound all high diddy, but looking forward to when the money comes, so my stuff is tailor made, y'all.
Yeah, that's definitely
like because I have my own flavor.
Yeah,
and so just like in being an artist, it's like I can find somebody who kind of does it, but I have an idea in my mind of what I get to wear, how it gets to fit on me, and what it gets to look like, and how I get to present that to no labels. It's original.
Yeah.
Just like my destiny, just like yours, just like yours. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the reinvention it's been happening. You know what I mean?
It reminds me of one of Brennan's stores. I think he was on here, Sold Nowhere. He might have been on another stream. Different, but yeah, not in stores. I think that's great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, when you're talking about not thinking about the redefinition or how you're presenting, just being natural with it. And I thought about, because you say redefine, then you have to, before you can do that, in some ways you have to think about what defines you in the beginning, or where that original kind of seed came from.
Yeah.
And I think realizing from talking to some people, one of my good friends, Ali, you know, helped me to kind of look into this thing about different points in life where definitions may have settled in, you know, self-imposed or from the outside. That could be a block to you being able to be who you are right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, people, sometimes you see people, you know, you look at, man, that person's such a years old, but they act like they're, you know, 18, or, you know, guys might be maybe 40 or something, and acting like 20-year-olds, man.
Right.
And something might happen, they got stuck in that point, you know?
Right.
And so first go think about what defines you, and then if those things are maybe not healthy, things like that, you know, get into some healing space, and then that redefinition, it just, to me, it just flows really, really naturally. I mean, my own experience, my own just life, you know, how my stuff kind of transitions.
So when I met Zakai, right? He had on no shoes.
See, she can still Joan. I can't.
I'm not joning.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not what that was.
Oh, so excuse me. Go ahead.
It was a chuckle in remembrance of the sweetness of the time, the first time. Awesome.
Okay.
If ever I saw your face. Like that, right?
Gotcha, baby. Love you.
So, don't do that. So, the first time I saw him, his locks went out like this. He had on a paint splattered Armani suit. He didn't have any shoes on. He had a shirt on underneath that was painted, said "I am art." And he had edible flowers in his hair. All right. So then as he crosses his legs, you're just so dignified. So
keep it smooth.
Let me just say, so then we had been together almost a year. We went on our first out of town trip, I think, to Asheville. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
He had stuff in storage. When he took the stuff out of storage, it was Ralph Lauren it was Ralph Lauren. He had like some Ferragamos. I said, what is going on? Like, I didn't know that because when I met him, and the person who I had been engaging with and hanging out with was granola, like how I was at the time. You know what I'm saying? He was granola, Bushman, right? Like, but then there was like another layer to him that's still there. Like, and I found out, and so opened my eyes to redefining inside of my definition of who I thought he was. It was even more complex. There were more hues and textures, right? And so I think that people get away from absolutely defining themselves because we are so multifaceted. At least the people that I come in contact with are really
if you're truly
complicated.
alive, you're ever evolving. It doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying?
Rochambeau says, switch it up on them, Z.
That's what you got to do. It's ever evolving. It's ever evolving. You always can make a change, do something different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you, either way, right? If you believe it's only one life, then why not?
Right.
If you believe there's multiple lives, then why not?
But this is the only life there's only this one life.
You're here right now.
Right.
So whatever way you think it ends, that don't even really matter. What are you doing now? You know what I'm saying? The end is going to take care of itself. And hopefully it'll be a beautiful one if you know.
Michael said you granola from Whole Foods.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he granola from freaking the hell is the name of the place in Georgetown?
No, I'm not trying to advertise none of them people. They didn't give me no checks. So I get my granola right from my kitchen downstairs from my queen Ananda. Yes.
I do make some bomb granola, y'all.
Yeah.
But
y'all keep your brands. I'm buying black.
Yeah. So back to that. I like the fact that you can keep your brands on buying black. So we're launching this toy company, right, in the next several weeks or so. And I think it's important because I talk to people, of course. And one of the things that's interesting as a small business is that I want us to start out strong with both of our businesses, right? And we anybody can buy, the products, but it's for people of melanated hue, meaning that when I'm painting, I'm thinking about our people having these images in their home. When we come up with the doll lines and stuff, we're thinking about children having dolls and plush toys and creatures that they can relate to, that they get to see, that comes from a Black owned couple, Black family owned and run toy line, home decor line, right? And I think that it's important for indigenous. I think that it's important for our people to really start to understand, like, not to define like a certain kind of swap meet kind of energy with like a Black business. For instance, remember I told you I was talking to somebody and they had mentioned, a couple of people actually had mentioned when we sold the doll, they asked me how much are the dolls. I told them how much the dolls were going to be. They were like, oh, well, how many are coming out? And I said, how many are coming out? And they were like, well, so are you going to do like a package thing? Like,
yes, it's going to be in a package. Yeah. That's part of the redefinition. I'm going to cut you off. Go ahead.
And so I think we get to redefine one. And I'm sure you all watching on here now don't have this issue. And this is for the people who have a hard time, I think, with defining, what a business is. Because when people go into Nikes, when they go into, I don't know, name some place, I don't shop like that. But when they go into places, they're not saying, well, okay, I bought 4 Nikes. Am I going to get the 5th one on a deal? Or if I buy all 5 of these pairs right here, am I going to get, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't, now the marketplace in Africa is different. People haggle. They look for that. They look for, but certain types of businesses, how they're set up, they're not looking for that.
Nobody negotiating at the gas station. Hey, I just got gas here last week. So if I come next week, I'm going to get, $1. It's interesting. That is it's not to me, it's more a redefinition about how we relate to each other in our community, and realizing that, that is African principle in a way in the marketplace and the trade, and maybe that is a what do you call it? It's a term they have for that, African continuum, a part of our epigenetics that has the haggle. But then we have to what they call code switch and realize that we are in a system of trade and commerce that is called capitalism. And we participate with everyone else. We don't try to turn anyone else into a socialist or a communist or a trustafarian or even what do you call it, barter. And that exists. Barter system exists, but we don't try to do that with anyone else. Exactly like we were saying. When we go to the grocery store or to shop at whatever stores that we like, there's no negotiation at the cash register.
But I also think it's interesting because it's I think,
1 second. Well, there are coupons though, and I have an aunt who is she is so good. Back in the day when she was with the coupons and stuff, they would give her money back at the end of the shopping. I mean, literally, she get all the stuff, and they would be like, "Okay, we actually going to pay you $5." Amazing. Yeah.
So I think like redefinition gets to happen. I think one of the things that's interesting is I'm finding as a business owner, entrepreneur, that people have access to me because we're a smaller business at this time. Mm-hmm. In a way that they don't have, but they do have access on Yelp, because people I've gone on Yelp reviews.
Yeah.
And somebody can go off about a Yelp review and make you be like, why is this place still in business? This person's really upset. But I don't always go off the first bad thing I see because sometimes people are just really critical.
Right. Yeah. Well, you definitely on that Yelp thing, you definitely have to take the averages and stuff and see. Some of those reviews are real old and stuff too. To tie that back in as well. When the last time you reviewed yourself, it might have been a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? When did you do a self-review?
Yeah. Inventory and inquiry.
Put it down now. Yeah, that's really important. Bhakti has this really great tool. I don't know where, I forget what community he got it from, but it's like a self-inventory, like a daily diary kind of thing. It's really like really a powerful concept. I never really had the courage to actually do it. It was like probably a little too much information for me at the time. It's like a daily inventory of like certain categories of activity, like everything from like work, prayer, maybe even like spiritual reading, things like that.
Stop now, get over here.
That you would do every day. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you catalog your activity. And
is that your car?
Hope not. I don't have mine. I don't think it is.
You want to look?
Yeah. No, it's out here in the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard.
But yeah, so it's a tool that you do every day. And I was saying that I hadn't, at the time he exposed me to it, or I was exposed to it, I wasn't really ready to do that type of.
How about now?
Okay. Yeah, I think it would be helpful. Yeah, I think it would be, or at least interesting to see. Taking an inventory is important, so having a tool to do so would probably be pretty cool. I'll ask him to get it. Maybe we can show it to you guys next time.
Do you all participate in any types of self-inquiry or tools that help you to do overhauls?
Jackie's saying on here, sometimes people don't tell
on Yelp.
Tell themselves the truth. Oh, on Yelp. Oh, okay. Yeah. There's companies that help clean that up too. I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead.
Yeah, I found that like for me, like in the tradition I practice in West African Orisha tradition in Sheshe Yoruba, I found that for me, and this is like within the last maybe 3-4 years, I think the thing that really got me, because I always consider myself to be a pretty nice person and then kind. I don't consider myself to be nice any longer, but I did used to. Seriously, it's a construct. It's not real. So I don't like. I'm gonna be kind if somebody shows me something else, I might have a little bit of patience or a little bit of tolerance, but after a while that might not work. Sometimes you gotta give it to people straight. But what I was gonna say. No, all the time you gotta give it to them straight. But I found that inquiry helped me a lot. So when I found out like character, like for myself, for me, my character, they talk about good character, gentle character. I don't have no my character is not really. You shaking your head already before
No,
I can even
I'm hearing
finish?
that song. Good character, it would play. That's how it goes. The one that
The Basha sings. Yeah, it
I'm
will
over here
play.
jamming. I'm sorry. I be multitasking, man. She said that word, and I just heard that song. It went to my mind and jamming to it.
So, like, my character might not be all that gentle all the time, but I do my best to have good character. And good character for me is being honest with myself first, because I have to sleep with myself at night. I mean, I sleep with him. When I close my eyes, I'm closing my eyes to this consciousness and this body with this spirit. So I have to. It's important. Like for me to not make sure that I'm being good to myself, that I'm upholding whatever my ethics and values are for me, and that I'm living a good life, as good as I've come here to live for myself.
Yeah.
So those things keep me pretty and then after a while, I find that the shrines, the spirits, they I was gonna say they'll show me some different things about myself that I get to go deeper in. Some old stuff back in the closet, back in the way back in the depths. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I think that's important too with redefining. Because I'm not who I thought I was. I'm not who I thought all the things that I had agreed to. I'm not lazy. I'm far from lazy. I'm not. I used to think that I was unattractive. I'm not unattractive. Like all these different things. Peace. All the different. All right now.
Hey.
All the things, right? So, and I found that I had to erase that stuff and redefine. Okay, so what am I? Who am I? Who am I to myself? Who am I? And there's different me's. Not to sound all, disheveled or whatever, but there's different me's. There's me with him. There's me in my, but generally, all of the me's that show up are pretty. Okay, I show up as I am wherever I am. Now, people, depending on who you are to me, you might get a more reserved version. You might get a more rowdy version. You might get a more cerebral version. Yes, you thinking? What about?
No, I'm listening to you.
What about what you?
Now, actually, I was reading what someone posted here. Sir Wall said, "I'm not only who I thought I was," and I mean, that's powerful. Like that's. Like, yeah, we think of ourselves in a certain way, and then we realize that the same thing you're saying. I am more than that. I'm not a different person, but there are different aspects to this person.
Right.
And being able to embrace that, and then, as you're saying, move between them or use them, or allow for that to happen in a way that is natural and seamless.
Yeah.
It just builds, I think, a sweetness in life. A lot of the tension comes from, and most of the stuff is interpersonal, right? So, I mean, and a lot of that, I think sometimes it comes from not being comfortable in our own skin. So then, we run into opposition in the world,
Yeah.
So, always show up as myself. Exactly. Yeah. Somebody said, love the look tonight. Oh, yeah, what I'm saying.
Looking so beautiful, Ananda.
Oh, look at that. There it
Loving
is.
This.
Yes, just good teas
Embrace
and fresh water.
All the
yeah, embrace. I'm thinking about coming to America and those berries and stuff. Embrace all the facets of oneself. Expression of who I am.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, cool.
So I mean, what does redefining oneself look like for you? I'm always going to I don't know what your intention was, and we don't usually be cliff notes, compare notes before we get on here. I say a prayer. We said a prayer when we were on his live, but it's okay, what is the intention? And so before we came on here earlier, what I heard was for something for me to speak about was the redefinition starts on the inside.
Right.
It's definitely something that is not. It can be for some people, but I think it starts on the outside, right? It starts like people change their image on the outside.
It could.
For some people.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I find that some people get stuck there.
You got to go deeper than that. I mean, that might be the easiest thing to do, like what I did. Get a haircut, go get a new hairstyle, get a new dress or whatever. I mean, you see that, that gives you that spark that, I could, or I do feel good in that moment or whatever. But yeah, you want to go deeper than that. That's the opportunity,
So how do people go deeper?
How did you,
what was one of the tools that took you deeper?
I mean, I'd say meditation. Being around really elders and people that cared about me to help me to recognize things that I may not have seen, without their support. Because like somebody was saying this here, or you could lie to yourself, somebody was saying, or you can't see yourself, or again, you think of yourself as one thing. And sometimes other people, those who really care for you, can see some of those other aspects and pour into you. That's what an elder really is supposed to do. And I was blessed to have people who I felt were elders. Now, later on, as I got older, I realized they weren't that much older than me. But at the time, they seemed like they were like old people. You know what I'm saying? Not older than can't do anything, but just older to be respected and all that. But meditation and those people who poured into my life. And my dad really gave me a foundation of freedom to redefine. And I'm very thankful for that, because a lot of people didn't get that in their home. But the way that he taught about faith and the way that he lived and the things that they exposed me to, my grandma as well, M. Davis, who financed a lot of the stuff that I got a chance to experience from cooking in the synagogue and other places for years. But what they helped me to see and understand was that you can flow from place to place and be in different experiences and still be yourself. And that you don't have to be limited by what you believe. What you believe in or believe about, really is a gateway to redefinition. And what I mean by that is when you go out and you have experiences, or you talk to people, or you whatever, however you get in information and influence, being able to integrate that, is essential. And I'm thankful that I just wasn't afraid to connect. First with people, and then people help me connect with myself through meditation and just having experiences. I think is so important.
Yeah,
you gotta do stuff. This, what I'm saying. Like again, how do you define? You want to so here's where I am. I want to redefine. Well, based on what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the template or the blueprint you're going to use? Like I had one buddy, he didn't really have his dad, and he told me that he modeled himself after 3 movies. Harold and Maude.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Scarface and The Doors.
Okay.
The Jim Morrison movie. And when the guy said this, I was like, wow. I realized his life was exactly like
that.
All 3 of those movies. That is amazing. That is it was very intense. And so again, like, how are you going to? What's your chart for your redefinition? They have those, what do you call them, mood boards? Like in the creative industry, they put up images and stuff that's going to help them, to motivate them and give them the guidance to what they're trying to create. The dream or vision boards.
Yeah.
Those tools are good too.
I mean, ultimately, who we are, we're born with it. So we're not necessarily even redefining anything. We're just becoming more of who we came here to be. I don't have a collar. More of who we came to be. And if we are courageous and fearless about pushing past any self-imposed limitations or perceptions that we've put on ourselves or other people have put on us, then we can just again, I think I said this the other week, like flow into a sea of bliss, like that is love, like that is our spirit, like that is who we are, because that's who we are.
And you know what? And the redefinition is being modeled to us all the time. It's just like we just don't see it. Like you think Wolf Blitzer is that guy? Is that his real name? No, that's not that guy's name. I mean, even the president, that's not his real name. You know what I'm saying? People they redefine themselves all the time. You can redefine yourself, and it's more than a name too, right? It isn't just necessarily about your name. But that could be an aspect of it.
We both
you know?
did it. We not walking around here with our birth names.
No, not at all.
And I think that, and then look how great the divine is.
Yes.
To give me the name Ananda.
Yes.
And then free.
Yes.
Like blissfully free.
Right.
Free bliss.
Oh yeah, I thought you were saying like A to Z because it's Ananda and Zakai.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, you know, but that is. I mean, I think there was. I guess it was in the '60s or something. People were calling each other Moonflower and different things like that. And, you know, people look up what the name means. You know, because language is important. You know, how we speak to ourselves and about ourselves. You know, those things, bless you. Those things are really important. And
yeah. So our time is coming to a close.
Yeah.
And
the relationship redefining is evolution or growing or expanding. Exactly. Evolution, growing and expanding. Yeah.
Elevated expressions.
Evolve, elevated expressions. Yeah. Beautiful. That sounds like a new type of music group you need to create.
Or evolved, elevated expressions. It feels like a clothing line.
I think my sisters had there was some younger women in church that had a group called Sweet Expressions or Sweet Inspirations or something like that. They were a singing group back in the day. Yeah, I like that. Evolve, elevated expressions.
Oh, then just say I love that you are doing this together, and we have a 1 minute and 57 seconds 5 left. So,
yeah, anything left for the people? Yeah, we're doing lots of things together. Join us. Future shows, we'll be announcing them. We've got great products, books, and home decor on our website, Sweet Weirdness. You know, be a part of the Sweet Weirdo family. You know, you already are, but you know, have some of us with you. And yeah, just keep it light and lively. Life is to be lived, and you can't be yourself if you're filled with fear because you're looking for the boogeyman instead of getting on your boogeyman.
And with that, please like, share, invite other folks because we get to share this. This is great medicine for us to share with you all and to be in community with you. And we're expanding our community and we're looking forward to Sweet Weirdos and Weird Wonders worldwide, right? So we love you mucho. Have an amazing rest of the week and may all of your blessings follow you wherever you go. Please be safe, be well. Remember goodness, joy, and love are your birthrights. One breath, one vibe, one tribe. Peace.